Hi everyone, I'm James Pettinelli, the author of the Zagaboo Stories, and welcome to the first episode of Behind the Scenes with Zagaboo. So, as many of you know, I write the Zagaboo Stories, and I've got 3 books so far. The Legend of Zagaboo, Maddie Swims Troll Style, and Charlie Digs Dinosaurs. And I'm actually writing a 4th book right now called Zagaboo Saves Christmas. I think it's going to be the most popular one. Anyway, I've always wanted to do a Zagaboo show. I keep getting requests for that. At every presentation I go to, they say, hey, Mr. Pettinelli, that's me, do you make Zagaboo shows? And I say all the time, well, I'm making them. And I just haven't had time until now. Now there's a little thing that I'm sure you've heard of called the coronavirus that's making everybody stay home. So now that I'm staying home too, and I'm not giving many presentations, I have an opportunity to make the shows that you guys have asked for so long. And this is an opportunity for me to kind of entertain you too while you're at home and maybe bored a little bit sometimes. Anyway, I figured I would start this show by telling you about where I live. Now, I'm also going to show you how I make the books. I'm going to show you how I write them, how I illustrate them, what inspires me, and all the other things that go into making these books. So I'm going to show all of that to you. The first episode, though, is going to be just me introducing you to my workspace. And there's lots of cool stuff in here. In fact, I call it the cool room. And in a moment, you're going to know why. I'm going to tell you all about it. We're going to go through and I'm going to point out all these cool things, including all my secret stash of Zagaboo original manuscripts. So the papers that I wrote for the Zagaboo stories and the illustrations. Are you ready to come along on my first episode of Behind the Scenes with Zagaboo? If you are, let's go. So first things first, where do I spend most of my time when I'm writing Zagaboo stories? The answer is right there, at my desk. You'll see that I've got a big Zagaboo poster right here. This is the poster of the front page of my first book. As you can see here, this is my first book right there. And that's the exact same picture. I keep that there to inspire me, to motivate me. You know what that means, kids? That means that sometimes I want to feel really good about what I'm writing, and I just love Zagaboo. So sometimes if I just look up at his poster or look at Zagaboo himself, the plush doll that I have, that a lot of you have already as well, sometimes I feel really good and I want to write more and more Zagaboo stuff. So that's why I keep those there. Some of the other things that you'll see up here are my computer screens. So I like to have 2 computer screens. Oh, and look at that. That's a little bit of a hint as to what I'm doing next. If I can zoom in a little bit, you'll see that that is a picture of Santa Claus and Zagaboo on top of Santa Claus. Whoa, what is that picture for? That's for book number 4. I was actually working on book number 4 when I started doing this recording. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about it too. Maybe just a little bit of a hint. I want to save some for another Behind the Scenes with Zagaboo later on. But let's go on. I'll tell you about this picture up here, or that's actually a flag. Now that's a British flag. That's from England. And that was actually made in a special way by a special artist who is my cousin, and his name is James as well, just like me, James. And he does Ebru art, which is a Turkish kind of art where he actually puts paint into water and then he lays down a piece of paper on the paint and he pulls it up and it turns into something really cool, just like that. It is so neat. Let's see, what else do I have here? I've got a really cool picture of my son and daughter. So up there, That's Charlie. And that's Maddie. Oh, and look at that. That is a picture of me when I was a baby. That was when I was younger than you guys are now. What else do we have here? Oh, yeah. So I told you I was going to show you the secret stash of where I keep all the original Zagaboo illustrations and manuscripts. So the papers that I first write for Zagaboo. Now I'm not going to give away all of that information right now, but I'm just going to show you where it is. All right. So if we look down here at this drawer, that's where everything is. Let's see. Oh, look at that. That's a copy of Zagaboo Saves Christmas. Nobody's even read this yet except for me, my editor, that's the person who checks my work to make sure I didn't mess it up, and my illustrator. And you guys know what an illustrator is? It's the guy who does the drawings. So like the guy who did this drawing on my shirt. That's an illustrator. Let's see what else we got. All right. Oh, yeah. So I also have a bunch of my own books. So when I go to presentations, I take them with me. And I keep those down here. And it's going to make a squealy noise or a screechy noise when I open it. It hurts my ears. Here we go. Ready? Ah, ouch, hurts my ears. Anyway, I keep a nice big stash of my books in there because, ow, ugh, that really does hurt. A lot of you guys like to buy my books when I go and give these shows at after-school centers, and at schools and at libraries, all kinds of places. Let's take a look around the room. So I told you this was the cool room, and I wasn't kidding. There's all kinds of cool stuff in here. So what you see up here, these two things are called snowshoes. People actually wear these in the snow. When the snow is really deep, let's say it's up to your shoulders and you need to walk in it, you need big snowshoes so you can actually step on top of the snow. Otherwise, you're going to fall right in and freeze. You don't want to do that. Oh, and look at that. That is a fossil of a fish. Now, that's pretty cool because in book number 3, Charlie Digs Dinosaurs, he finds a fossil of a magical fish. So I've actually got a real fossil of a fish here. You want to know how old that is? Millions and millions of years old. A lot older than Mommy and Daddy. At least a little bit older. And then I got some other cool stuff over here. These are Australian Aboriginal bows and arrows. And what the Aboriginals are people who are native or were actually the first people in Australia. And they use these to catch fish. I thought they used them to like catch kangaroos and stuff like that. But apparently it's to catch fish. And look at that. Look how sharp those are. You better watch out. That's why I put them up here. So they're out of the way so nobody accidentally gets stabbed with those things. Uh-oh. Now this is pretty cool. Back when my daughter was young, we were hanging out with the soccer team, DC United, and there was a goalie there from DC United, and his name was Ramondo. I think that's right, Ramondo. And she asked if she could get something autographed by him, and he was nice enough to give her his shirt. And he autographed it right there. See, he put his name on it. So you guys, probably a lot of you already have autographed books from me, because I've autographed lots and lots of books for all of you. So that's what an autograph is. And I did that for Zagaboo Stories as well, for your Zagaboo book. So when you look inside your book and you see my signed name there, that's an autograph. Oh, this is cool. This is the USS Constitution, also called, I think it's Old Ironsides, something like that. Anyway, this ship is hundreds of years old. This isn't the real ship, of course. Nobody can fit in that one. Maybe Zagaboo can, because Zagaboo is tiny. But this is actually a replica, which also means a fake ship. But it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Look at all the detail on there. Whoever put this together did a really good job. See all those ropes and the mast. And look down here. If we look closely, these are cannons. This was a warship for fighting in battles. Now this is kind of neat. I don't know how many of you know who Charlie Puth is, but he's a very, very famous singer and musician. And he wrote a nice little note, again, an autograph. Let me see if I can get it right there. Oh, I got it. There we go. Now you can see it. This is an autograph to my son, Charlie. And it says, "Hey, Charlie, good luck to you in your tennis. Stay focused. Play hard." So we actually know the aunt and uncle of Charlie Puth. And they got that for us. What a very special gift. Now this is kind of neat. I used to live in a place called Nepal. That's a little country above India. It's all the way across the world from where most of us live if you live in the United States. And I believe that this is a face mask of the Nepalese god Ganesh. Although I don't know for sure. So for those of you who actually know, if I'm wrong, I apologize. Then I've got some other cool stuff up here. I think that's an elephant, a carved elephant that somebody gave me from India, although I don't know for sure. And then these are two axes that are Native American, and they were made out of stone. They actually bash stones together to make these sharp so that they can cut things like trees down. And let's see, I think I just ran out of juice. I ran out of batteries and had to start from here again. But I told you about Ganesh, and I believe I told you about the Native American hammers, and those are pretty cool. But I bet you noticed something up here that that's very special. It's the Zagaboo original wooden sculpture or carving. Yep, you guessed it. That's what that is. So now none of you have one of these because I haven't made them available yet. One day I'm going to do that. But right now it's the plush Zagaboo doll, which you saw back there. There it is hanging up. And all the other Zagaboo stuff. Actually, got this. This is another Zagaboo thing. The Dirty Digging Hat from book number 3, Charlie Digs Dinosaurs. And you need to have one of these if you want to be a real paleontologist, okay? And of course, that is Pappy Carp's hook fin from the book. And I keep that here, right on top of this tennis ball. This tennis ball is pretty cool too. So my son, Charlie, is a really, really good tennis player. And we went to some professional tennis matches, and he got these signed by some professional tennis players. And we keep this up here, again, autographs, and we look at it all the time. So let's see what we got up here. That's just not really that important. I bought that from like a Walmart or something. This guy is from, I believe, the Dominican Republic. I don't really know what he is. He's some sort of monkey person thing that's holding a ball on top of his head. I have no idea what it is. And in fact, nobody wanted to buy it because they thought it was cursed. And it was all covered in dust and cobwebs. And so that's exactly the kind of thing I like. So I'm an anthropologist. I study people. And that's what I got my college degree in. And I love weird stuff like that. That's why I like this room. The cool room. And as you may have noticed, here's my other Zagaboo wooden figure. This was actually the very, very, very first one. And you know who made that? Was my illustrator, my first illustrator's father. He was also an artist, and he made that. He actually made it out of clay. It's not out of wood. So there's a secret that you didn't know. Some other cool stuff up here. That's actually a little baby shark that died a long time ago, and my wife's mother gave that to us. She's a biologist, a scientist, and so gave that to us. Then we got some other cool stuff up here. I'm not going to go through everything, but one of the coolest things that you're going to see up here is this tooth. See how big that is? It's huge. This came from a 50-foot shark, a prehistoric shark from millions of years ago called a megalodon. And if you look that up, and your parents can probably look it up for you if you want on the computer, do a Wikipedia search, it was a relative of the great white shark. But the great white shark, even though it's the biggest meat-eating shark in the world right now and can get up to about 20 feet long, this shark got up to 50 feet long. That's as big as a school bus, probably bigger, I think. Huge. Anyway, have some statues up here. There's another megalodon tooth. We have a world map, and this was made back, how long ago? I don't know, my father gave it to me. I think in the 1600s. There is a date on here somewhere. I can't find it though, but it's old. Let's see. This is kind of cool. My sister gave this to me, and this is actually the nose of a swordfish. So, and they actually made it into a sword. Anyway, we got to be careful with that. I just hang it up here so that people can see it. Now these two things are especially special to me. So I told you I was an anthropologist, which means I study people. And I studied a group of people that handle snakes in the Appalachian Mountains, which actually isn't that far from here. So if you know people in Tennessee, West Virginia, all the way down to Georgia, I think even Alabama, they handle snakes in church. And they're called Holiness Pentecostals. And they believe that when they handle snakes in church, it means that the power of God is protecting them when they don't get bitten. So it's pretty cool. And one of the guys that I was studying made both of these for me. They're walking sticks that look like snakes. Look at that. He did a good job. Anyway, he gave me both of those. And so I keep those here. And I got to try to see if I can get that to stay up there. I think, there we go. Got it. Now here's something really cool. I play guitar as well. And if you've been to my Zagaboo presentations, you've seen me play guitar and singing Zagaboo songs. Well, this guitar right here was my very, very first guitar. When I was 11 years old, my mom got this for me because I did well in school. She said, if you do well in school, we'll get you a guitar. So I worked hard and I worked hard and I worked hard. And finally, she said, okay, James, you've been doing great. We're going to get you a guitar. I hope you guys are working hard in school too. And maybe you play an instrument. Maybe you play the drums or the flute or the violin. Yeah, those are great. It's great to know an instrument. Speaking of instruments, here I'm going to show you my two instruments that I have here in this room right now. You've probably seen them. So this is a drum set. It's an electronic drum set. My son plays the drums, but I dabble in it a little bit. Let me see if I can play a couple of beats for you. I'm going to put this camera right there. All right. I think you can see me okay. I'm going to jump over here. Grab a couple of drumsticks. Let's see. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'm okay. Not great. Oh, I dropped a drumstick. Yep, told you I'm not that good. My actual instrument is the guitar. And I've got my guitar that I use to play my Zagaboo shows right here as well. There it is. I am going to see if I can play you a tune, well, part of a tune real quick, while I have you here. Let's see, can you see me? Here we go. All right. That's the beginning of the Zagaboo song. Here's the chorus. Zagaboo, Zagaboo, where are you? Tug your ear and he'll be there. Zagaboo, Zagaboo, where are you? Tug your ear and he'll be there. All right. Let's do a little shred there. Okay, guitar. Some people are really, really good. They can play super fast. Not me. That was back in the old days when I was in high school. Now I mostly play Zagaboo songs for you guys. So let's show you a couple other things that I've got. Now, that's a picture of my wife's parents. That's a picture of my son holding some worms when he was very young. And this is a picture of my daughter holding 2 horseshoe crabs that we caught when we were up in Ocean City. And that's a picture of my whole family. So you can see that's me, my son, my wife, and my daughter. And we're at, you've been there probably, King's Dominion. Let's see, we got a couple more introductions to make here. Stay, Chindy, stay. Here we go. All right, this is my dog Chindy. Say hello. She's a good dog. I've had her for like 13 years, and she always sits down here next to me when I write my Zagaboo stories. She is a very faithful dog. I love her so much. And this is Ranger. Now, I still call him a big puppy, a big boy, but he's actually old too. He's like 10 years old. But he's big and clunky, and whenever you get on the couch, he just jumps on your lap and just sits there and licks you. And he does this too. See, he puts his arm up and he says, "I want a belly rub." So I always got to give him a belly rub. Anyway, I think that's about everything for right now. Oh, and I live on a lake. Well, I ran out of batteries again, right at the very end of my presentation. Anyway, it's no big deal. I just wanted to make sure that I said a proper goodbye to you for today, and I want to make sure that you guys come back and have some more fun with me on Behind the Scenes with Zagaboo. And I'm also going to do a bunch of other shows as well. So Behind the Scenes is only one of the mini-series that I'm doing. But for now, that's what we're doing. I'm going to show you guys how I write the books, how we do the illustrations, how I get motivated, and all the other stuff I do as well, like the things I do on a regular day where I'm not doing Zagaboo stuff. I might be doing something outside, going fishing, or I might go play tennis. I'm a tennis player, that sort of thing. And so I'm going to bring you with me to go see what life is like with the Zagaboo author. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I certainly enjoy having you with me. Anyway, tug your ear, and don't forget to say the magic words, Zagaboo, Zagaboo, where are you? And I'll see you next time on Behind the Scenes with Zagaboo. Zagaboo, Zagaboo, where are you? Tug your ear and he'll be there. Zagaboo, Zagaboo, where are you? Tug your ear and he'll be there. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube video channel.